Anime is something that is a complete joke that was originally made for children and then expanded to be made for adults because like idiotic Westerners saw people who liked it because they were pedophiles, and they themselves convinced themselves that like it's a hobby, it's a thing they themselves should also like. And I have all of these people pretending to like the most juvenile, dumb shit in the world as like a sort of peer pressure thing where people who have no interest, nothing interesting about them, all like hop on the bandwagon and pretend to like cartoons made for children that are just full of pedophilia. And that is what anime is. It's like a bunch of people pretending to like something that no one legitimately likes unless they're literally 4 years old. That's the only time when it would be acceptable to like anime. The animes that like it's normal to like are like children's animes, like Dragon Ball Z. You watched that when you were 12 years old. Of course you're gonna like that. But like there are like millions of people, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of Westerners especially, who just base their entire personality around anime. And they like talk about like, oh, go check out the new anime this season or whatever. And they just pretend to like the dumbest, the absolute dumbest slop imaginable just because it's made by like animators. No, it's not even made by animators in Japan. They outsource the animation. But like just because it's like Japanese anime and all of them pretend to like anime as a genre. It is completely fucking nonsensical and embarrassing. And it's the sort of thing that exists in the same sphere as like K-pop does. It's basically like K-pop, but for single, unfuckable men, is what anime is. It's something that's there that you can like get into when you have no personality. You don't want to generate a personality either. You don't want to be interesting. You don't want to like be interested in anything that is interesting either. So you just cling on to anime and video games. They come together. They're side by side. What K-pop and Taylor Swift is for women, anime and video games are for men. There's a woman and she likes K-pop and Taylor Swift, and that's like her whole personality. That should be a red flag. Leave. That is a black hole of like just boring ignorance. Leave. Get the hell out of there. And with men, anime and video games, particularly combined, that is when you get the fuck out. Leave immediately. It is people who, rather than like learning about anything, rather than getting interested in anything that is actually interesting, they just saw other people pretending to like anime in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's been like a pyramid scheme where people were pretending to like something that has no worth to it whatsoever. 99.999% of anime is like, my dad's stepdaughter is so hot, and we swear she's over 18. And then it's like 5 seasons of 30 episodes, and these guys all watch it religiously, and they post online about it, and they assure you that they definitely don't watch it because it's porn for them or anything like that. There's like 2 good animes ever, and most of them are movies rather than series, and there's nothing about them that is like specifically anime. It's just that they're animations that happen to be made in Japan. But like, it's just so fucking weird. It is bizarre. As you can see, the drummers approve of my take on this, so it is true. It is 100% real. No one can disapprove of what I'm saying here. It is objectively true. If you are young, especially if you're young, and you're interested in anime, leave now. Get out now. You have like a time limit before it becomes too much of an obsession of you, too much of like a learned habit that you'll be done forever. Get out of there. It's like a cult. It's worse than a cult because they're all pedophiles. Well, cults are usually pedophiles too, but you know what I mean. It's a cult. Get the fuck out of anime. There's nothing meritorious in there. You would be far better off spending your time getting into literally anything else. Just like you'd be better off spending your time getting into anything aside from Taylor Swift and K-pop. K-pop is just late 90s corporate like constructed boy bands rebranded with Koreans. There's nothing special about it. Give me a fucking break. When anyone pretends to like that stuff, it is such a massive red flag that there's just nothing there. There's nothing to them as people. I guarantee you put like, I like anime first thing in your Tinder profile, goodbye. Well, okay, maybe just by looking at you, they already went goodbye, but if they read your bio, they're definitely going to go goodbye, 100%. There are just so, like, 50% of, like, Western men above the age of 18, and probably under the age of 18 too, like, late teens, have nothing to them. It's just like, I like anime and video games. If you want to be complete, like an unmeritorious person with nothing interesting about you, who is totally unfulfilled for the rest of your life, continue with that path. Continue. Just anime and video games. Otherwise, I would suggest strongly that you change. And if you change, please don't replace that with the next worst thing, Marvel movie fan, superhero movie fan. Don't be that. I beg you. Don't be that either, please. That is my anti-anime rant. It is 100% true. You cannot refute it. Unless, of course, you're the sort of person who would argue about the definition of pedophilia. It's a phebophilia. Maybe those sorts of people would be really angry at this. For everyone else, this is totally uncontroversial. If you guys watch anime, I'm watching you. I'm paying attention to you. You better not say my name 3 times in a fucking mirror, okay? Because if you're an anime fan, I'll show up and I'll judge you. And you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You see that furnace behind me? Let's just say it's not just for show, okay? Like, Westerners are so desperate for, like, acceptable cultural produce from other countries, but they really don't like the third world countries, so they choose, like, Japan and South Korea and treat it like it's something exotic, as if those countries aren't themselves, like, hilariously westernized, as if K-pop is not just a rebranding of, like, Backstreet Boys, fucking Spice Girls sort of shit from the late 90s, just with Koreans instead of white people. And they pretend it's something cool and different because they want something exotic and different, but in reality they're not different at all, because this is fucking half the people in the West are obsessed with this shit. So it's like an acceptable, like, aura of difference that isn't like different enough, like those icky third worlders. Like, has the aesthetic of different because the people doing it are Asian. Except, I guess, is there an analog to anime? I mean, I guess there's like Western cartoons, but those are usually a lot less concerned with pedophilia fan service than the Japanese anime industry is. So, but K-pop, 100%. K-pop is just rebranded, like the frenzy over like boy bands and girl groups from the late 90s, rebranded. It's the same thing. Down with K-pop, down with anime. These things will be banned. Down with Taylor Swift too. These things will be banned after the communist revolution of the year 3500. It's coming, just wait. Get your immortality ready, you're gonna need it. Hawk to spit on that thing.